What is up, YouTube? I am back again with another video. Today we are going to do something special. We're going to take a look at the entirety of my TAG Heuer watch collection. I have 6 watches in front of me today. First things first, I do want to say that sorry I have not made a video in quite some time. I am going to try to make more videos. I'm not going to say I'm going to be consistent with it, but every once in a while I'll try to make something for you guys. Let's go ahead and do a quick wristwatch check. I am wearing an Ebel Sports Wave. Let me go ahead and take it off for you guys. This is a recent watch that I picked up for my birthday. If you guys can kind of see that right there, but it's a Swiss quartz watch. The bracelet's really nice on it. They are still pricey for some reason, for really what they are, but that being said, the build quality on them are quite nice. I do have a friend who sells watches quite often on Whatnot, and he gave me a pretty good deal on this. What really caught my eye was the bracelets on these, but yeah, very cool, very vintage, iconic watch from like the 90s. I think this one might be from the early 2000s, but conditions on it, it was pretty good. And again, like I said, he gave me a deal, so I'm really enjoying this. But let's go ahead and take a dive into my TAG Heuer watch collection. All right, so we are in the top-down view right now. I have the watches off to the side. I'm gonna not have a particular order when I am picking these guys out, but I'm gonna go ahead and start with the most recent acquisition that I got, and that is going to be this TAG Heuer chronograph right here. I believe this is a 2000 professional executive model. I'll go ahead and put the model numbers just somewhere around the screen because I don't know them off the top of my head. But this, again, like I said, is the most recent addition to the collection. This was a birthday present from my wife. She said I could pick a watch out. I looked at my collection. I saw that I did not have a chronograph in the collection. So I decided, hey, why not go for a TAG Heuer chronograph? I checked online and this guy popped up for a pretty decent price. Condition is pretty decent on it. Does of course have some scratches and some dings on the bracelet, but again, for the age, it's looking pretty good. Swiss quartz movement, 200 meters water resistance, bezel clicks very well. Let me go ahead and line that up. There you go. But I do very much like the look on this. Very robust, feels good on the wrist. It's not too big, not too small. It's about 40 millimeters, maybe 38, 39 mils, but it's still a great piece for the age. And these TAG Heuer chronographs, I guess depending on the model, they can get pretty expensive. I believe also depending on condition and stuff, but I got lucky on this one and I just had to pick this one up. And again, thanks to my wife. But I really do enjoy this one, and I am happy to get this one on the wrist. All right, next one on the list that I have here is something I didn't think that I would enjoy very much, but quite frankly, I do put this one on the wrist a lot, and that is this TAG Heuer Kirium with the black dial and the 1269 indices right here. This one is an earlier version, I believe, because it does have Mercedes hands. I believe in the newer versions, they use like a sword or stick hands, but I've picked this one up randomly perusing eBay. I believe I picked it up for like $200, which was super cheap for this particular watch. I know they go for maybe around $300, $400, so I got a pretty decent deal. I did have to buy an extra link when I purchased it because it was a little tight on the wrist, but I do very much love the design of this watch. I didn't think I would like it as much as I would, but I really do like these watches, and for some reason I've actually been gravitating towards these early Y2K looking watches with a very fluid integrated bracelet look. I believe this particular model, the designer was going for like this liquid metal look on the wrist, and well, I believe he achieved it, because this does really look interesting on the wrist. But again, like I said, I've been really into these Y2K, early or late 90s, early 2000s look of watches. So the Kirium definitely is a big example of that. Of course, again, like I said, the Bell Sports Wave definitely has that look as well. But this is a pretty good watch, very low key in the Tag Heuer line, I would say. I think obviously the Tag Heuer 2000s were more popular, but I think these were also pretty cool. And the condition on this one's pretty decent as well. Of course, it does have some scratches on the center links right there, but again, they're polished, so it's gonna happen. But the condition, pretty good. And it is ticking away with that Swiss quartz movement. Can't go wrong with these Swiss quartz movements. I will say all of these watches in my collection are quartz. I don't have an issue with quartz watches. I've actually been gravitating more towards quartz watches recently, because you could just kind of pick them up and go. All right, next on the list is a watch that has been in my collection for quite some time. One of the older watches that has been able to last throughout the years, and that is this Tag Heuer professional 200 meter, the Tag Heuer 2000. And this, of course, is a two-tone model, as you could see here. Now, this watch is beat up. You can kind of see that the gold plating has worn off a bit on the bezel. The bracelet's very much beat up. Kind of see this link here is bent. There's definitely some scratching, some scuffing. The bracelet is jingly jangly, and the crown here has a big chunk of it missing. But I love this watch. I purchased this back in like 2016, 2017, 2018, those years, and it was only $100. I was able to get it off eBay. I guess nobody bid on it, and I was able to get that winning bid of $100. I'd say $100 for a Tag Heuer watch is good in any book. But as you can see here, it's one of the iconic Tag Heuer Professional 2000 watches. There's so many models of this particular watch. 40 millimeters, 34 millimeters, different sizes, 28 millimeters for the ladies. And I think these are a great bang per buck, especially if you want to get into a good quality Swiss timepiece with a quartz movement, of course. Again, I have no issues with quartz. They just keep on ticking. These are tanks, especially if you take care of them and maintain them, of course. I've had, of course, regular battery changes. I've changed the gasket a couple times, but it still looks pretty good on the wrist. Let's go ahead and do that. Actually, I want to put this guy on. Go ahead and take the bell off. Put him off to the side. And let's go ahead and put this guy on. There he goes. So yeah, he looks pretty good on the wrist. A little flashy, a little blingy with that two-tone, but again, these watches, if you're able to pick them up at a pretty good price, and if the condition's all right, they will last you for a very, very long time. But yeah, no, I was very, very pleased to get this at a very good price. And story about this watch, I actually brought this on my last trip to the Philippines. It was for one of my cousin's weddings, and this is the watch that I wore there throughout my time there. I had some other watches with me, but this is the one that I wore the most. It's quite comfortable. Had to add a link, and it just, I think with this kind of bracelet, it's kind of Jubilee-esque. It feels pretty good on the wrist. Again, like I said, it is jingly and jangly, and it does feel a little cheap, but again, it does have some great sentimental value. And I think also these are going to become very popular in the near future. It looks like the prices on these are definitely going up. Actually, most of these Tag Heuer watches, the quartz versions, the prices have been going up on them slightly. So who knows what they are going to be looking like in the near future. So yeah, so far, these Tag Heuer watches, I didn't spend too much money on them. But again, who knows what it's going to be looking like in the near future. All right, the next watch we are going to be looking at is a very, very special watch. And it is none other than the iconic TAG Heuer SEL, all gold. So this is a very special piece to me, and I'll tell you guys in just a little bit, but let me tell you about how I acquired it. This was back in like 2020, kind of one of the Christmas presents for myself. And I came across this guy on eBay for like $300, which is, in my opinion, an insane deal because the prices on these guys have been going up. I've seen them close to like $600 to $800, which is crazy. But wanted something a little blingy, and again, this guy popped up. Condition on it is still pretty good. There has been a little bit of wear on the gold plating. You kind of see it there. A little bit on the clasp, but overall the condition is very good. Now again, this watch is very special to me because this is the watch I wore on my wedding day. I again wanted to wear something a little blingy, little flashy. Looked at the watch box, and of course this guy immediately caught my eye, and I just love the cream dial, and it kind of just makes that TAG Heuer logo pop. And I know some people have their gripes when it comes to the SEL line, saying that their design is dated and very 90s or early 2000s, but I really enjoy this design. It's very unique. No other watch has done it. There have been some, not clones, I would say, but, some homages by, I believe, like Movado ESQ. You've seen those before, as well as, what's another brand? Wittnauer by Longines. I've seen some watches like that. In fact, I do have some in my collection that look very similar to this, but I just really love this watch. This bracelet is quite a pain to adjust. As you can see here, each piece right here is an individual piece that is kind of held together by a little pin here. So adjusting the bracelet is a bit challenging, but it's actually very, very comfortable on the wrist. I do enjoy wearing this on the occasion. Don't wear it as much because I don't want to knock it about and scratch up the gold plating and everything, but on the occasion I will put this on if I want to feel a little fancy. So TAG Heuer SEL. All right, so the next watch I don't keep in the watch box. I actually keep it separate in this circular pouch here. That's because this is a more modern TAG Heuer watch. These guys are all kind of vintage, but this is a special one in my opinion, quite unique, and that is none other than TAG Heuer Aquaracer. And this one is interesting because this one has a titanium case and a fully loomed dial. This is a TAG Heuer Night Diver. This is an older version that was released, I believe, in 2018. And the story on this one is I was in the TAG Heuer boutique, I believe, in Millennium Mall in Orlando. And I was looking at their offerings and I saw that they had the newer TAG Heuer Night Diver with the caliber 5 automatic movement. And that one really caught my eye. It was a little bit out of my price range at the time, so I did a little bit of research and I realized that TAG Heuer released this guy in 2018. And I purchased this one kind of like a wedding present to myself for around $1,100, which is a little expensive, but I really enjoy this watch. The 2018 model, this one right here, is very low key. Not a lot of people talk about it. There's not a lot of information on the internet about it. Yes, it is quartz, but it's very, very light, especially with that titanium case and the rubber strap. Great summer watch. This is kind of my vacation watch. 43 millimeters on the wrist. It is big, I will say, but I like the look of it on my wrist. And again, fully loomed dial. TAG Heuer doesn't really do that. Of course, you have the newer Night Divers, and there are the older F1 models with that fully loomed dial. But I really, really enjoy this watch. It's definitely when it gets hot outside, and here in Florida, it definitely gets hot outside. So This watch is usually my go-to summer watch here. But yes, super light. I will honestly say that this rubber bracelet is very, very comfortable. I should get some more of these for my other watches. But yeah, very legible dial. I love fully loomed dials. I don't have too much in my collection of these guys, but this guy's definitely like my #1 pick when it comes to that. And there you go. All right, so in my opinion, I saved the coolest or the best for last, and that is going to be this Heuer. Yes, not Tag Heuer, but Heuer 844 Monin case Swiss quartz diver. Let me go ahead and take it off the pillow so we can take a better look at it. And this is very interesting on how I acquired it. This is probably my best Facebook Marketplace find to date. I was perusing Facebook Marketplace as I usually do, and this listing came up and had to get it. Met up with the guy. He was really cool. Has a little, but actually not a little, whole bunch of scratches on the crystal, but it's original. Bezel is a little faded. The hands could definitely use a relume. I think the crown might be a replacement because it has the Tag Heuer logo on it, but everything else going just fine. Battery changed not too long ago, still taken away, and the loom still works. But the best part about this watch is that I got it for only $300, which sounds like a lot, obviously, for a watch, but knowing that this guy goes for roughly, like, I've seen close to $8, sometimes over $1,000, I think I got a pretty good deal on it. And I really love these Monin case watches. I do have another one, but I mean, just the look is very iconic. The crown could be a little bigger, but I do like how he kind of just sits in there with those crown protectors. Really cool. This even has the original ESA movement. I know we have ETA movement, but this uses an ESA. I believe it's French or something like that. Don't quote me on that, but this was a really cool watch. Let me go ahead and put it on the wrist for you guys so you know what it looks like. But the proportions on these are really cool. And I mean, it just looks like a stunner, honestly. There we go. Look at that. It looks really good on that wrist right there. A true icon. For only $300. Can't beat that. But yeah, he is ticking away. Bezel still works fine. Again, could definitely use a service, but I think as is, he's looking pretty good. Let me get that lined up. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, I just have it on this generic kind of waffle strap that I got off Amazon, but I think it pairs very well with this guy. Hopefully one day I'll get the crystal change, probably find a nice Jubilee bracelet for this guy. I believe that's what they originally came on, but I was, again, very, very happy to pick this guy up, especially for the price that it was at. But yeah, Heuer 844, I believe these came out in the 1980s, and they kind of saved Heuer from, you know, the quartz crisis situation that they had. I know there's automatic ones. This one's obviously quartz, but I believe these were very popular in the 80s. But yeah, of course, better examples, like I said, they're going for a lot of money. So I can know this guy's kind of beat up, but I kind of like him that way. All right, let me go ahead and put this guy down there. Let's get him out of the way. But yeah, those are my 6 Tag Heuer, well, I guess 5 Tag Heuer and 1 Heuer watches right there. All right, folks, so I hope you enjoyed that little show and tell of my Tag Heuer and Heuer watch collection. I will say, those of you who are wanting to dip your toes into the Swiss watch market, I think that Tag Heuer is a great place to start, especially when it comes to their vintage models from the 90s and the early 2000s. Their The Professional 2000s line, I think, is a great place to start. The Kirium watches, I know the design isn't for everybody, but those are great bang per buck. And, you know, again, if you want something a little quirky, I think the SEL line, the Sports Elegance line, is something you guys might want to look at. So if you guys like the video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.